Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second hour of the Long Voyage, episode something or other. And
12.
Yeah,
See, I told you I'd remember for you.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm settling for something or other. And Yeah, you were enjoying a pleasant evening of games and camaraderie and stuff.
I'm going with stuff. I think, again, Sindri he came down briefly to eat and then decided to go back upstairs to keep an eye on the room.
Yeah, well, it's not upstairs. It's
Not
out
upstairs.
Back. Yeah, it's
Oh, not upstairs.
out back.
It's all on. Out back, yes. Okay. I'm just used to the idea of it being a multi-story building,
Yes.
but it's not.
It's not. No.
That one. Okay.
So, yeah. Any anything any of you wish to add, or do we move on till the following day?
Well, Ilva is gonna walk the streets to clear her head.
Yeah, you can do that.
Not that way, just taking a walk.
Yeah, of course.
The other thing would get her killed pretty quickly.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
City
probably.
is-
Like if Gilf, oh sorry.
no, please go on.
No, if Gilfy sees her like getting up and going out, like he would ask like if she wants him to go with him, go with her.
Well, sure, you can come along if you want to.
Hmm. Just on the offset, I don't know how your Tirglasian is.
I don't need it. I'm not gonna talk with anyone.
Doesn't mean they won't try to talk to you.
Well, I take it that means that the two of you are gonna go for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay. It is. Well, it is a city of over 50,000 people.
That is mind-boggling in itself.
It is absolutely unbelievably huge by any Southlander standards. This is the sort of thing nobody back home would believe if you told them.
Well, we didn't believe when we were told.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Precisely. And narrow winding streets and back alleys and actually some wide open roads and boulevards as well, and a couple of marketplaces that are closed for the day by this point, but still. And of course, over all of it you have these two hills with these massive buildings on them. But you really do get and obviously you're not alone in the streets, despite the fact that it's raining. There are other people out and about, beggars and street urchins and the occasional local who is running an errand despite the weather or whatever. But you get you pretty quickly get this feeling that it's very easy to get lost in a place this big.
Yeah, that's why Gilfy is like while paying attention to whatever Elva is either saying or doing, like he is actually memorizing the way they are going.
Yeah.
Well, for once, you realize that she's not gonna say anything. She seems to be in her own kind of world while they're walking. Little distant in her face, but
Does she
just
just
walking.
Okay. Does she just look preoccupied or more like sad or what does her face express?
Not a lot, actually. It just looks like she's processing.
She would probably be like, look at her for a second, like, well, a silver for your thoughts.
Huh?
What you thinking about?
Nothing in particular.
Fair enough.
And then she just continues.
Yeah, he doesn't prize.
Nope. Well,
He'll quickly realize that if he wants to, end the walk with her, he's probably going to have to walk the entire night.
Yeah.
So if he wants to get some sleep, he should probably head back or something. Ilva is processing. Ilva is not the smartest cookie. Ilva needs time to process. She's a Windows 98. Or, God forbid, a 2000 that doesn't work properly.
oh my God, she's a Hydra. Every time you fix one problem, two more spring up.
Yep.
Anyway, while you walk, the two of you, you come across what looks to be one of the main squares in the city. It's not far below one of the two hills. There's a scaffold there, and a permanent scaffold, and there are gibbets, quite a lot of them actually, with, well, let's just say not everybody in those are dead yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
Alright.
Will be.
What is a gibbet? Gibbet,
Cage.
gibbet.
It's a cage.
Ah. Well, then they've been put there. Because of something they probably did.
Probably yes.
And we're here to lay low, not fray all the little ladies and things and things. Oh, that's a gibbet.
Indeed.
Looks rather uncomfortable.
Deceptively cute name.
Hey! That's also the things that's in Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that.
Mm.
They use that a lot, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just picture
Well,
Yourself, Sindri.
yeah, this is my
it's a pretty. Sorry.
sorry. My inner Anglophile is struggling to hold back the fact that you pronounced the word Caribbean the American way.
Caribbean.
So, I'm just going to mute and sob quietly.
Okay, you do
It's
that.
closer to the Danish way of pronouncing it.
Caribbean. Ooh, Hedda. Anyway, Ilva just keeps walking. She isn't really sensing stuff around her, she's just walking.
She walk into a lamppost.
It's a pretty disgusting.
Yay! Donk!
It is a pretty disgusting area because people who are strung up in cages like that, well, they still have bodily functions, and it never gets cleaned up apparently.
Well, it ain't burp poop, that's for sure.
Yep, it really isn't. So the smell in this particular square is pretty strong and very unpleasant. And
Then
there
walking
are,
on pretty quickly then.
moans from the people there who are, there are some stalks as well where an old man is, hanging from one of the stalks, and he's clearly died because he couldn't remain standing, and he slumped, and eventually, it strangled him. So yeah, it's a pretty nasty place. But you keep walking.
They have some weird ways of getting rid of the people they don't want. Not something I remarked, but it was something Ilva would remark if she even looked up.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ilva does still need at least a little bit of rest. She doesn't need as much as the others, but she still needs some rest.
Of course.
So I'm taking it that eventually she does turn back towards the inn.
If she can find the way back, yes.
Well, that's why Gelfi is there.
Yeah. Gylfi is able to direct traffic, so to say, so you get back. And, well, we will move forwards to the next day.
You may say it's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. You win tonight's unofficial contest. And so it's a new day, and it's still raining.
Does it ever stop raining?
No, you should know.
It's not. It's based on Ireland.
You get
It's the same.
when you get up, and you realize it's still pissing down. Even looking outside, you realize that you're gonna be ankle deep in mud, if not more, when you go outside. It's really fetid.
Someone mentioned something about boots.
I said I wanted to get some new ones, although it's a good thing that will take time. I wouldn't want to ruin them in this abysmal weather.
I imagine with weather like this, they'll be quite good at making boots.
They'd better. I still mean to go out in this if I can. I don't want to waste.
Same.
I'm not going to waste a day indoors.
I mean,
Sorry.
they do get a ton of water. At least they're not dying because they don't get any water.
How optimistic of you.
Hey, what?
How optimistic of you.
I think I have to be optimistic in this world.
Ah, I wasn't aware of those rules.
Well, it's my rules. That's probably why you don't know them. Smile, everyone will think you're an idiot. And then she smiles brightly.
I don't think you have to smile for that.
Hey,
That's uncalled for.
He grinned.
Hey, you see, that's an idiotic grin right there.
See, I can do it as well.
woohoo! Now, boots. Preferably someone with no holes in it.
So, yes, there is much squelching out into the world.
Yes, splorching and squelching.
You wanna come too, Baggy?
And Baggy doesn't answer.
No,
He looks a bit distant.
Baggy?
Yeah.
You alright?
And then he puts on his usual Baggy smile and says, "Yes, I'm fine. Why do you ask?"
Because you look like someone had stolen your cat.
I'm just tired, hungover, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What? Seriously, I am hungover.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
Don't talk so loud.
Bullshit.
You wanna come with us?
Out into that hellish weather.
Oh, come on, it's an adventure. We might even get lost. This city is huge.
You're not selling that adventure very well.
Come on, it's an adventure. We don't need to know where we're going.
Alright, I'll come along.
Might do wonders for your headache.
Yes, my headache.
Yes, your headache. She pats his shoulder. Let's go fix your headache.
Well, before you get that far, obviously, the innkeeper has food ready for breakfast.
Oh,
That might,
right,
might be a
breakfast.
good idea first, yeah.
Yeah. There's some porridge and bread and cheese and the sausage. Rather nice large one actually that can be, cut into nice large chunks of salty meat from early on in the day.
I think if, as this happens, Sindri will look with surprise over at Barky and says, I had no idea you would be so generous, Bargy, as to donate your very own for us to enjoy breakfast this morning.
Wait, what? And then she just pushes the sausage away and starts trying to eat it.
Once again,
That's just disgusting.
it falls to me to make the eating the sausage joke, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this time I don't have a Marty to throw it at.
And Sindri then looks at it and says, I am joking.
I
I'm not
know.
very good at it, though.
I know
need
you
practice.
are. But you just ruined the moment there.
Yes.
She staggers at the sausage.
It fell a
Sindri.
bit flat.
Didn't you know, Sindri?
As long as
Ilva really wanted a moment alone with the sausage.
As long as it didn't fall flaccid.
I knew you'd say.
Sindri,
yeah.
Sindri shrugs at the people not liking his sense of humour and just reaches over and pulls over Ilva's portion of sausage and puts it on his own plate.
Hey,
She's not going to have it, he will.
yeah, exactly. More sausage for him.
Yes.
And yeah, by the end of the meal, then the innkeeper looks quite, he looks quite happy. He's got some, he's got guests that are actually staying overnight and might be staying another night for all he knows. He's quite happy with this.
God, what is the reputation of his establishment if he's that happy to have people actually staying?
Fast.
We should. I'm getting concerned.
You haven't even asked the man's name, but yeah.
You know,
His innkeep number 1.
As
No,
long as the meat
didn't wanna
keeps
be
flowing, I
polite.
don't really care what his name is. Well, Baggy doesn't, at least.
Well, Ilva waves him over. If he's
Yeah. he can
coming
follow.
this way anyway.
Yes.
Hey, could we have the room for a couple of nights more?
Of course. Absolutely.
Alright.
I'm not gonna let anybody else stay in that room until you specifically tell me that you're leaving.
What is your name, friend? We haven't asked yet.
My name is Aina.
I know. Okay, thank you. No.
that's what I heard too. Oh, have you been to anals?
You're terrible. We're all terrible
Is
people.
that an SM dungeon? No. Oh.
You guys are horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, we just burned down a city with people in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we.
Okay, Frothy did, but yeah.
It's spelled like this.
Well, we do have an explicit tag to live up to.
We do.
Tell me, Aina.
Mm.
You said before you don't often have people stay.
True. Well,
Why is that?
Because I am unapologetically a supporter of. I am unapologetically a supporter of another sword than who officially holds this city. The place is supposed to be neutral ground, and nobody, let's be honest. Of course it isn't. It's deep inside Liam's territory. Of course it's not neutral.
Yeah, we're actually wondering that. How a city could be neutral, but I guess they can't.
No.
Fair enough.
I'd say about 9 out of 10 of the inhabitants of CharismaToAC are, well, fully and firmly in his, camp. They support him. The Shi who live here obviously support the sword of the Fairmaster. There's me. And a few, handfuls of others who support one of the other few remaining swords, and into your glass.
You see.
How many thoughts are there into your class?
These days, not
Eh?
that many. Not that many left. I think 5 or 6.
Well, I know of the Shees, and I know of what's his face, CharismaToAC and Liam.
Yes.
What are the last two?
There's one called Loman. Loman is situated way, way, way up in the north, and he has, last I heard, he's barely got a village in the city left to his name. I think he's mainly alive because Liam and CharismaToAC are busy killing each other. And yeah, that's his situation anyway. And then there's there's one more whom I support, Chiefa, and she's, well, I don't even know if she's alive anymore, to be honest with you. Her lands, Chiefa, her lands stuck in, partly at least, between. She had there was a narrow strip of land that stuck into the front between Liam and CharismaToAC when they started coming to blows.
Oh.
Well, it could have just been overrun, but I happen to know she went to defend it. I don't know if she made it. But I'm from her lands originally. That's where I was born. I still stick by my sword.
When we went through there, there were nothing else between that, were there?
No.
Ilva stretches her neck. That sounds like a tough situation.
Well, I'd like to know if she's even still alive, obviously. But, or if I've been turned irrelevant. But we'll see.
Well, not exactly relevant to us right now.
Well, that's nice to know at least, but I'm sure you know what I mean.
Yes, of course
Yep.
I do.
People who lose their swords become irrelevant. That's how it's always been, and that's how, undoubtedly, it's always going to be.
It's not how it is for us. In the Southlands, when one of our, well, at least when our sword, when the lands we come from conquers one of our other people in the Southlands, she subsumes them into her nation. They become part of her, under her protection.
And that's a positive attitude.
I suppose.
I think Liam has done that once or twice. Maybe.
As long as it gives him more bodies to throw into conflict, I suppose.
Liam is a fucking idiot.
You won't hear any argument from me.
I guess that means you're not on his. You're not on his payroll. If you had been, you would have already clobbered me when I said that I don't support him. But that is the reason why my establishment is more than half empty.
Oh, well.
Once upon a time, this was a busy place. That was before Liam rode through the gates the first time.
Typical. He really is a party pooper, isn't he?
Well, his people think that he's the greatest thing since anybody invented cheese, but...
Oh, well. Yeah, I would also be kind of biased if you asked me about the Raven Lady.
That's what your sword is called, isn't it? The Raven Lady.
Gangria.
Gangayar means
Sort of the wanderer.
Sorry, I was about to say sort of the one who walks or something, but yeah.
Hmm.
I see.
I'm Ilva, by the way.
Nice to meet you. It's been a while since, as I said, since I've had any significant number of visitors here. The few people that you saw here yesterday, they're all from my home area as well. They're in the same situation as I am. Fortunately, my money is still good enough that the merchants of CharismaToAC will still, they will still sell me what I need. I don't think that's about to change, but obviously I'm not exactly part of...
Money is probably still money.
Exactly, and I'm probably never going to get invited to, the RE's dinner table, but who gives a shit?
Who's that here?
The RE?
Yeah.
Well, I think you'd... I don't think you have anything comparable in the south, actually. He's like the ruler.
Huh.
No, we don't. Again, as mentioned, at least in our lands, the absolute ruler is Gungayor. We do have sort of jarls and similar to hold areas of land within her domain, but she is the one we answer to in the end.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, that's the situation for me anyway. So, as I'm sure you can tell, I'm very glad that you're here.
Out of character, it's at times like this I wish I hadn't picked miserliness as a drawback for Sindri. Otherwise, I'd be tempted to pay double to this man.
What is my blah blah blah?
Gnia.
Scrooge
Sindri-
McDuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly who Sindri is.
Well, I imagine Frodi is also present during this conversation.
Yeah, it's during breakfast. Ilva just waved him
And-
over to say that we were going to need the room for a couple of days more.
And guess who has the generous spirit quirk? So I think
Woohoo!
this man will find that Frodi pays more than he needs to.
He tips well.
Yes.
Well, he's not too proud a man to say no to that. He needs the money, clearly. So he's quite happy with that. The he does, at least, he says, if there's anything I can do or help you with, information, directions.
Actually,
Yeah.
we're looking to have boots made and possibly garments.
Well, there are plenty of good seamstresses and leather workers and so on in the city, but obviously, I mean, you're not exactly built like we are. You're larger, wider, and so on. So you need somebody who can adjust. Okay, tell you what. First and foremost, what kind of money are we talking about spending? Because that obviously has to be a thing.
I think we would like something of good quality that can last many journeys.
That sounds wise. In that case, you should go and see... Just a second, I have something stuck in my throat. There we go.
Yeah.
You should go and see... there's a woman living not that far from here. It's a couple of roads over. And she's a really, really good seamstress. Her problem, of course, is that her husband has died. She's got 3 kids that she needs to feed, so she needs the work. And I know that she does very good work. It's not particularly, it's not fancy, but it'll last you a long time.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
But she can make you the garments. Obviously, you'll need a leather worker for boots and so on, a cobbler for that.
Hmm.
And I have a friend who is one of the few people I know in the city who hasn't turned their backs on me by now. Who's he's one of Liam's, but as I said, most people here are. His name is Dallon. He's got a cobbler shop and he does leatherworking in general. If you follow the road, if you go outside here and you just follow that road until you come to a marketplace, then you turn right on that marketplace and follow that road until you get to the next marketplace over. You'll find his shop there. It's got a sign out front with leather carving tools, so you can kind of tell.
That sounds good.
And I'll be tell him that I sent you, and then he should be able to put you up in front of anybody else.
Shall we tell the woman you sent us?
Yeah, you're welcome to do so, but I don't think she's going to have any difficulty taking your orders first.
All right. Is there any particular way we can get there without getting absolutely drenched?
Afraid not.
Run between the droplets.
This is tear glass.
Oh, come now, for the little rain never hurt anyone.
I don't
No,
think
but
will
it
hurt
almost
me.
drowned us.
That
In the
was
swamp.
yes, that was a swamp. And while I grant you the ground will get very muddy here, it's not going to be quite that bad.
Hopefully not.
I've been through worse.
It's kind of strange to hear you so optimistic.
That's not exactly optimism. Saying it as it is.
I think you're just secretly very optimistic about mud.
I think you are a pessimist. For you to call me an optimist, I must be a realist.
I'm really sorry about these two. They always do this. She says to Aina.
It's fine, don't worry.
It's usually worse than this. We're usually actually scrapping at this point.
Yeah. They've actually been behaving.
Well, in that case, I'm quite pleased that they are behaving themselves, because I'm not large enough to physically stop you, and
I'll be doing that.
And I would really, really hate for my establishment to get totaled.
Don't listen to her. I'm much more civilized than that.
He's at least good at pretending.
At this point, Sindri does get up and prepares to make his way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to ride the piano downtown.
You wouldn't better ride it more than a yard before it basically got halfway stuck in the mud and flipped over. But it's a nice idea. Okay,
Yes.
so
I rather want to see that split.
There's a music video I was actually referencing where you can see it.
okay. Anyway, yes,
To the lady with the 3 kids.
yes.
So you move to where the seamstress is supposed to be living, and there is a small home there. It's single story. It's, as I said, it's not large. Looks to be pretty well built, though the roof could clearly do with it, with some repair work. It's not copper tiled.
It could use a thatcher.
Yes, exactly. It could use a thatcher.
If we, no, I'm not going to make that joke. It's not the time. Anyway, okay. Sindri will walk up and knock on the door.
Perhaps you should let Uncle Bucky speak, just in case she doesn't speak our language.
A nephew Gilfy, if we're at the family thing.
Could do that. All right, Sindri steps back then and lets someone else knock on the door because, apparently you need to actually be able to speak the language to lift your fist and hit a piece of wood with it.
Yes, you have to knock in their language, otherwise they won't open.
That's just very weird.
It's
Yes,
a
but then-
Galatian tradition.
I would say, this is Rasmus we're talking about. You know that, don't you?
Yeah,
I didn't.
that's why I'm no more surprised than I am.
Hmm.
Anyway, yes.
Margie, do you, or Gilfy, do either of you knock on the door?
Well, I mean, it was technically, when you've knocked on the door and have to speak to the person answering the door.
Well, you who did knock? Did anybody knock?
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's
All
door.
right. Somebody.
Apparently, we're just standing around.
Is Baggy and Gilfy gone?
No, the Baggy's here. He's still all distant and weird, but he is there.
Okay,
All
so someone
right,
just someone slap him, please.
Well, Gilfy, you can speak then. And then Ilva knocks.
Yes.
Yeah, just if he's pushed forward, it's like.
Yeah, he is.
Gilfy, it's a little old lady. She will not bite.
You don't know that.
Not that hard.
So, you knock on the door?
Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
And at first, there's no answer. And then you can hear somebody moving in there. But there's still nobody answering the door.
Of course not. There's 5 huge-ass Southlanders at the door.
Well, they can't see that. There's no windows for them to peek out or anything.
Well, he knocks again.
And you hear the voice of a boy. He's right at that age where his voice is, it's just broken, so it goes up and down pretty rapidly.
Aww.
And he sounds terrified when he says, "We already paid. Go away."
What is he saying, Gilfy?
Something
They
about
said-
pay.
They said they already paid.
Oh God, not these people as well. Tell them we're not. Tell them we're not tax collectors or something.
Tell them we want them to make clothes for us.
No, if you say it like now, they'll just think we're extorting them. For goodness sake.
We're here to
Tell
buy
them we
from
bring
them.
Are you done? He's like after he's finished listening to the bickering behind him, he's like, hi, is your mom cobbler? Is this the right place?
She's the tailor.
Taylor, sorry.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Why?
Hey, we want to purchase some clothes. Well, order some clothes.
Okay.
That's what the tailor does, isn't it?
Well, yeah. You can hear he's whispering to someone. You can't make out what it is that's being said, but you can hear that he's talking in a low tone of voice to someone else in there. And it sounds like somebody's coming to the door.
Mm-mm.
And they're
gonna get a heart attack.
What?
They're going to get a heart attack opening the door and there's 5 Southlanders.
Yeah, well, The person opening the door is a young woman. She might be, you'd imagine she's maybe 17, 18, thereabouts. If she scrubbed and cleaned up, she would probably be fairly pretty. As it is, she looks haunted and horrified, and when she sees the five of you, she immediately slams the door back, shut. With a
He
little
like
shriek of terror.
Yeah, he's like sighing.
Tell her
Okay.
Ina sent us.
Shh. First of all, can Ilva can you stay, and the rest of you, can you just go around the corner or something? Because it's easier to convince them when there is not half. There's not a warband watching at your door.
What? You don't think she'll be charmed by my face?
Nope.
No, I don't think the cattle will be charmed by your face.
Throaty huffs, but goes to stand somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
out of sight.
Take Baggy with you. He's not really there.
Yeah.
Come on, Uncle Baggy.
What's that? Okay.
You are.
Get the young lady.
Sindri takes a moment.
Did I scare a young lady? I
Yeah,
don't
you
recall that. When?
God.
He Gilfy gently he's not slamming the door, but he's just gently knocking. Sorry, don't be scared. Aina sent us. He recommended you as a good tailor.
Oh, so you're not here to. We already did pay. So you're not here to get the rent.
No, and I think even if we would not knock really.
Well, the landlord usually knocks more. So does he. Whoever he sends.
No, don't worry. We don't want your money. We just want your services.
Okay. Well, she comes over and she opens again and says, and she does step aside so you can enter. She looks. She still looks frightened.
He enters first.
Yeah.
I asked the rest stay away because sorry for coming in such a large.
Yeah.
I know we are. And all that.
She looks. She looks to her brother, who is the young man or the boy that you heard talking.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the opposite end of the house. It's there's only the one room really, but he's on the opposite end of it. He's holding somebody who's clearly his little sister, who's she looks like she might be 7 or 8, and she looks terrified, but he's holding her, so that's it. And then there's a bed with a woman in it. She looks like she's in her 40s, some point in her 40s, late 40s.
Well, she's on death's door then.
No, she's not on death's door, but she's she is lying down, Yeah.
I mean, boy, this is an Iron Age culture. Reaching the age of 40 and you're practically a grey beard. So yeah, I imagine she is quite.
Gilfy, when he noticed the was the woman on the bed.
Sorry, one more time.
No, I'm asking you when he notices the. Was it a woman on the bed?
Yeah, it is.
Is that your mum? I assume.
Yes, it is. The girl says it is. She's, but I'm afraid that she's not going to be making you any clothes.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with her?
The landlord said that we weren't paying enough. We've been paying the same for a long time, at least, 5 seasons. We've paid the same. And suddenly he comes around and he says that we need to pay more, but he didn't let us know beforehand, so we didn't have enough money. And, well, he took every pin and every needle that Mom is using, and he pinned her hands to the table.
Gilfy just sighs and takes off his bag. May I take a look?
I guess. Yeah, but do you know anything about wounds?
A little.
You certainly.
What's happened to her? She looks at Gilfy. She understands very little tear glass. She has broken tear glass, so she knows something bad happened.
Yeah, he just like mutters to Ilva that she was tortured by by the man that rents the house to her for money.
Ilva gets a weird facial expression. That didn't make sense to her.
Never mind. Yeah, I don't. I think we'll have to find other tailor because, like, he's while saying this, he's going over to her, like you know.
The young. You're saying this in I guess in Southlander, right?
Yeah, but like very, very, very like muttering tone, nothing loud.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Can you at least take a look at it? See if there's something you can do?
Oh, well, that's what I intend to do. And yeah, you might as well go tell others that we'll probably find the other tailor.
Yeah, in a moment. I kind of want to hear your verdict first.
Yeah, and he is the woman conscious or?
She is, but she's clearly she's in a good deal of pain. Her hands have been quite expertly bandaged, and it's in the bandages are made from, well, pretty good cloth.
I assume the cloth that Taylor would had.
Yes.
Yeah. He looks at the woman and like, hi, name is Gelfie. Can I look at your wound?
She doesn't protest or anything. She's just she's just in pain, and she holds up her hands towards you. The bandages are bloody.
Yeah, he gently takes the like bandage. Well, takes her hand and tries to very slowly undo the bandage.
Yeah.
And he while he's happened, like who aided you, who bandaged you?
She says my daughter did.
He like nods. That's a pretty good work.
I've been teaching her.
Bit of a expensive cloth, but I suppose you use what you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. Yeah, he's as delicate
of
as
course,
his,
but
you know.
You can also tell, you could be, unless she's unconscious, this is going to hurt. When you get the bandage off, the hand underneath is good grief. The only time you've seen anything comparable was somebody who had their who was unfortunate and fell on all fours moments before a horse stepped on their hand. It's a bloody mess. It looks like she's had more than 20 needles or, knitting pins jammed through the back of her hand, or through the soft part where the what's it called, the thumb meets the palm, and it's, oh god, it looks awful.
Yeah, Gilfie would try, like, he would be trying to look over the hand, trying to assess if he can do anything on the spot except just changing the bandages or anything like that.
There isn't much else he can do except clean the wound. It's not that it's particularly dirty or anything, it's not. But, clean the wound, apply a fresh bandage. That's pretty much all you can do.
Well, if the wounds are still like semi-open or bleeding or something like that,
they're still seeping. They're still seeping.
Yeah, he will probably like first clean off the wounds and actually use one of his poultices, Gulcro poultices, to apply to the hands.
She recognizes that.
Yeah.
When you do it, and she immediately shakes her head and says, I can't pay you for it. I can't pay you for it. It's worth a fortune.
It's not really. It's like he like just shushes her
Yes.
with his hand, like there.
I mean, she's not in
like
any position to
work.
stop you or anything, and her her children
He's
look
like-
like they're just happy that somebody's helping. So nobody's actually stopping you physically from doing this.
Yeah, he's just going to apply the poultice and just like bandage her hands again.
Yeah.
And be like, just keep it
Yes.
keep it to yourself, because if they your landlord see that you had help, such a help, he might ask for more money or something.
She smiles weakly and says, well, when he comes back next time in 10 days, he's going to be back here, and with hands like these I have no way of making money to pay for the rent, so he's going to take my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
My son is going to try to stop him,
Mm.
and it's going to come to blows. And if I might lose 2 children at the same time.
Mm. He's
Didn't she teach her daughter to sew, though?
She is teaching her, she says.
Ah.
well, if it helps, like how good is your daughter at sewing? I assume you trained her a bit.
She's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
She's not done learning, but she's not bad.
Well, we do have the order to place, and we are not pressed for time. So I think with your guidance over her shoulder, and I know a little bit of around the needle, maybe we could make you a little bit of business. I understand
she
you
looks
are not.
at you with a moment of almost, it's not disbelief because that's negative, but it's more like this. Can this really be real? And she sits up a little bit. She supports herself on her elbows, and she looks at Gilfie for a while, and she says, "Who are you? You're these huge people. Who are you even?"
We are just customers looking for spirits.
Well, the powers must surely have sent you.
I would not.
Aina did.
Well, that's too.
Well, she says that Aina did.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does understand enough words to get that at least.
Yeah. And he says like, well, that too. Well, but he's like, I'm not offering you just give you money because
No, I know.
because that would be disrespectful to you, and I think if you just had money, then your landlord would just take all of it. I want,
He would.
and I don't think I can. He like sighs a little bit. I don't think I can help you with your landlord permanently. It's not my business. At least something that you would have to deal on yourself with time. I just can offer you some business for now.
That's
Shall I go get the others? So we can
Maybe
measurements taken?
maybe not all of them at once.
the.
Why not? I'm pretty sure they can behave themselves.
I don't rather, and I don't think we have enough space in this room.
Is there enough room in this?
It would be kind of cramped.
Room.
A little, at least. It is a
All
small
right.
place.
I shall go collect one of them,
Mhm.
and when we've taken, then the last two. Okay?
Yeah, and Gelfi in the meantime asks daughter if she has, do you have like something to boil water in, something?
Yes, and while you treat or tend to her.
Yeah, he
you
makes
can
again
talk-
that
yes.
a little bit of that bark with that has
Yes,
aspirin in it.
yes. And while you do that, we are going to take our second break, and we will be right back because something happens outside while you are talking to her. So we will be back. We shall be back with that and what happens to our three friends outside when we get back. So don't go anywhere.